Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I have with me Venu, who I'm sure you recognize, even though he's got a very festive hat on, and Asjad from Cricket4Us 2.0. We are going to discuss, the teams really for the second test between Australia versus India. Will it be repeat and Australia destroying India, or will it be revenge? And will India get their own back on Australia after humiliating first test? And I'm not just saying that because I'm Pakistani, I'm saying it because it's the truth. After a lowest ever test total of 36, I think India are going to be looking to come back with a bang on Boxing Day. I would assume, obviously, without their talisman in Virat Kohli. Let's go straight into this. So India have obviously already announced their playing 11. So let's go through that. So opening up, Agarwal and Shubman Gill. No Prithvi Shaw, who's been dropped after a torrid time opening up, let's be honest. Pujara at 3, and then at 4, Rahane, who will be captain. Then they're going to have Vihari in there at 5, so they're kind of shifting people up. Rishabh Pant, and then Jadeja, Ashwin, and then whoever you really want. I guess I'll go with maybe Siraj, Umesh Yadav, and then Bumrah in that last 3. Okay, let's go through that India lineup. First of all, how big a loss is Virat Kohli? I want to touch on that very briefly. Ashtad.
Very big. He is their best batsman. He has been in decent form, and he was the only one who tried to negate the swing by stepping out of the crease and trying to smash the ball in the previous game. He's the only one who seemed like had his head straight, and the others just didn't know how to bat. So I'm being very aggressive, but it's just the truth.
Venu.
Yeah, big loss for India. He is their talisman, as you nicely put, Fizan. He was looking a really good touch before he got run out during the first test match. He's a big loss. He's probably, I think Babar Azam is a bigger loss for Pakistan. But yeah, it's a bit like the Avengers or Iron Man. It's just not the same, is it? So yeah, as a neutral, I'm disappointed that he's not there, but also he made a right choice to go back to his family, to his wife, to attend the birth of their first child. So yeah, so he'd be a big loss.
You can tell that Benny's been going through the Avengers films as of late after that reference. I'm sure he'll probably want to have been called Captain America rather than Iron Man, knowing Virat Kohli, but he'll have to take it when Iron Man's my favorite anyway. Okay, let's move on from Marvel conversation. Let's go into then the team a little bit. So obviously, I don't know if it's a surprise, but Rishabh Pant, who scored 100 in the tour match beforehand, didn't get picked, and Saha was picked instead, which was Asjad, your and I's pick beforehand to be in. Obviously, didn't particularly perform very well the bat. Rishabh Pant has come in. I think he also dropped, I think it was 1 catch, Saha, which is 2, in the end. So Rishabh Pant's come in now. What do you think? Do you think he's going to be able to make an impact now?
Yeah, I think Rishabh Pant, because he was in form with the bat, and that's what India kind of need at this point. They tried to stack up their batting, but with people who could also bowl. And I think that's the point about adding Ravindra Jadeja into the side as well. So these are 2 aggressive batsmen who show intent, who weren't debacled or destroyed for 36. So they come in with a slightly fresher mindset. So they'll come in and they'll be looking to attack rather than be very, very, very defensive as the other batsmen were being in the previous game. It's kind of, it's good in my personal opinion. And I think what Rahane's done before when he has captain India, he always likes to go with 5 bowlers rather than 4. He's got a 100% track record. When captaining India, he wins, but that only means he's played 2 matches as captain and won both of them. So I genuinely think it's a good decision bringing Rishabh Pant in now. I have had to change my mind due to the debacle that I saw of Saha, especially because I thought Saha was a much better keeper, but I think he's just maybe losing his touch slightly. At least outside India, his skills don't seem to be up to the mark, and I think Rishabh Pant can definitely make an impact.
Anything to add to that, Vanu, about Rishabh Pant?
No, I think I saw him. I think when did I see him? I think he was in the India team against England, and he looked decent then. So I thought, I think it's right for him to give him give him a shout. And I'm also looking forward to Gill playing as well. He looks like a really good talent and probably one to look out for over the next few years. So yeah, looking forward to seeing some newer players, let's say, play for India.
Yeah, well, Shubman Gill will be making his debut, so obviously he has been in good form in the bat and the tour matches, etc. But as you said, Venu, a good-looking player in terms of the way he plays, but so was Prithvi Shaw. And I'm not just saying that; I'm just taking the mick. But Prithvi Shaw obviously dropped. When he first, I've mentioned this, when he first came onto the scene, similar to Shubman Gill, there's a lot of hype around him about how good he would be. As you rightfully said, Asjad, he hasn't fulfilled that potential as of yet. Anyway, who knows, he still could. Shubman Gill, another Prithvi Shaw, or are we going to see something different on his debut? Is he going to impress a little bit?
Right, yeah. No, I personally think Shubman Gill is a much better batsman in terms of technique, in terms of the common sense he shows. I think he's slightly older, but not too much. His experience in first-class cricket does show that he's got a much better batting average than Prithvi Shaw as well. So I personally thought that Shubman Gill should have started the series debuting against Australia, but because Shaw had, in his first, I think 4 or 5 games or something like that, he batted very well, and then he had a slump similar to Aiden Markram. But this time, I think we saw definite gaps. Like Ricky Ponting was pointing it out, no puns intended, when he was commentating as well, saying that you can obviously see technical gaps in his batting. So it's good that they brought in someone like Shubman Gill to come in and show his talent. I'm very excited about that. I saw him in the IPL as well, and he looks like a very promising talent.
Yeah, I think so. Prithvi Shaw's 20, Shubman Gill 21, so both very young. So to be thrust into the Test arena against Australia on debut is a tough ask, especially where they're going to be playing as well at the MCG on a Boxing Day test. There's a lot of pressure on him for sure. Are you a little bit surprised that they've gone with 3 seam bowlers and 2 spinners? But because in Australia you don't see that too much. What do you think, Benny? A little bit surprised about that?
Not really, no, because I think they needed the batting of Ravi Jadeja, considering Kohli's absent. And yes, I would have liked to have seen Saini instead of Siraj, but I think, yeah, to debut Saini and Siraj in the same match, I think that would have been a bit too much. But yeah, it's surprising. Good point, Fazan. But I'm sure the Indian pace bowlers will manage, and I think having that extra bowler, spin bowler in Jadeja, they're able to rotate a bit better as well, which could help them as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Asjad, do you want to touch upon that quickly?
Yeah, I think it's a decent shout depending on what type of pitch comes up. If it's the pitch from last year that they had against New Zealand, then not the best decision. But if it's the pitch that usually you expect at MCG, where it's a pretty much flat track, spinners might come into play a lot more. So personally, I'm happy they went in this direction. They also have Vihari who can bowl a bit as well. So they've got a choice of 2 proper spinners and then a part-timer if required. Siraj, I like that they've gone with Siraj. He has a much better first-class record than Saini. I don't think they were going to drop Umesh Yadav because he did both well in the first innings. Second innings, yeah, he was spanked, but I think that had to happen. They were scoring 90 or whatever. So I think it's a decent shout. I'm happy with the team personally.
Okay, that's fair enough. I guess it's difficult because obviously they've got injuries, Mohammad Shami and Ishant Sharma, etc. But to have 2 spinners in there at the MCG, for me, it doesn't quite sit right with me. But to have 2 debutants, as Vanny rightly said, I guess, isn't ideal, and it puts a lot of pressure on them. So that's maybe why as well. Australia, okay, so they haven't announced it officially, but Justin Langer has basically alluded to the fact that they're going to go with pretty much the same team. So just quickly go through it. Joe Burns opening up with Matthew Wade. At 3, they'll have Marnus Labuschagne, then Steve Smith, Travis Head, Cameron Green, Tim Payne, And then I'm assuming they're going to go with the usual Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, then Josh Hazelwood and Nathan Lyon, or switch them around, whatever you want, the last two. Okay, what do you think of that? A little bit surprised maybe they haven't gone with a specialist batsman, but I think you guys mentioned in the review that obviously Matthew Wade scored that 30 and you thought, okay, he looked good enough to kind of give him another go. Obviously, no Will Pukovski or David Warner, obviously, still out as we can see as well. What do you think we're going to see from Australia? Asjad, let's go with you first.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with the same side, exactly what you said. They're going to come back with, not come back, they're going to come into the game with the same type of energy that they showed in that in the last two innings in the previous game. And they're probably, they've got their tails up, definitely, I think, because of the way they just destroyed India. It was something that you don't see very often. Even with the bat, Joe Burns came into form, right? And this guy has had a horrible like batting record over the past 10 innings. He scored like 60 runs, 70 runs, and then he gets this really nice 50. So definitely think it's a good decision for them to stick with this side. Again, Warner, Harris, I think a couple of other people, they could have had a shot into the side, but I think what Langer and Tim Payne both said was, unless we need to fit someone in, we're going to stick with the side that won us the game, which makes sense. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, in a way. It's just, I still think their batting is a little weak from what I can tell. As you remember, I think Travis had got 7 off 20. He didn't look great and he got out quite early on. I did say in the review that they should give him another chance and let him bat in the middle order. Let's see how he goes. I don't think they're going to drop Cameron Green whatsoever. That was his first game, right? Okay, so I think he's going to get a fair chance in the team. So yeah, I'm glad they're trying to keep it as compact as possible based on the previous game. And the only people I'm slightly worried about is if Labuschagne and Smith don't fire, then we'll have to see how Head does and how Green does and everyone else. So I think those two players are absolute key for them.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron Green obviously only had one inning, so there's no way they're going to drop him. And obviously he has the ability to get wickets with the ball. As we saw, he's quite a decent bowler as well, especially in his first test match. I thought he performed quite well, to be fair. Not exemplary, but pretty well. And look, as soon as David Warner comes back, though, I mean, Matthew Wade, I personally think they'll drop him down the order and then just drop Travis Head. They'll have to do that. Unless Travis Head suddenly scores a double 100 or something in MCG, which he could, who knows. Just to note on the Australia's form in Boxing Day tests. So they've won 7 out of the last 10, which is pretty ridiculous. And overall in Melbourne, they've won 25 out of 39 matches. Steve Smith as well has smashed over 900 runs with 3 half centuries. So he's kind of looking forward and has said that he's...
And 400s as well, right?
Yes, 400s as well. So this guy is just a machine, as we know. And he would have been a bit disappointed with that first test, I'm sure, the way he got out, especially in the first inning. So I doubt we're going to see back-to-back tests where he doesn't score runs, let's be honest. Okay, anything else you want to touch upon the Australia lineup before we maybe go to predictions? Yeah, go on, Venu.
Yeah, just what Asha made a really good point. I think if Smith or Labuschagne doesn't get a score, then Australia's middle order does look a bit fragile. But however, the last test match, I think the first innings, they did both get out cheaply. And, Labuschagne made a not so great 40-odd. But it just, the captain, Tim Payne, played a really good innings with the tail. But, yeah, I think they are dependent on Smith and Labuschagne to make a score. And I do think India looking to get those quick wickets early on. And yes, that winning streak, they're on a winning streak since last year's Ashes, where they lost their fifth Ashes test match, I believe. And they've won 6 test matches in a row. So they're on a winning streak at the moment. So things are looking good for Australia at the moment. Yeah,
no, agreed. Okay, predictions. Let's go. Forget about the series because I think we've done that before, and I think the series prediction we can do another time. But I want to just get your prediction for the second test match. Asjad, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with India is going to lose. And yeah, I don't see India winning. It's going to be very difficult. This one is probably the hardest for them to win, especially with two debutants. And for me, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are their big guns, and Mohammad Shami and Ishant Sharma. That's four names that you would automatically put into the test squad, and none of them are that. So yeah, I think Australia is going to win in the fourth day.
Okay, fine. Venu, what about you?
I think Australia will win. Hopefully they win it in the fifth day, because I would like to see a 5-day test match. And I'm just putting that down to there's no Virat Kohli. As I alluded to earlier, it's basically like, how can the Avengers win if there's no Iron Man in that team? And also there's no Captain America in terms of Rohit Sharma and Ishant Sharma.
No Thor with Ishant Sharma.
Yeah, exactly.
No
So exactly, they're missing some key players in the Avengers. So how can they beat Thanos? So yeah, it's just, yeah, I just don't see how they're going to win, especially with Iron Man.
Yeah, I think Australia, or Thanos, if you want to call him, Venu, will destroy the Avengers, and I think snap his fingers, and I think it will be the end of India even having a chance of winning this series, obviously, because it's a four test match series. Let's see though, who knows? They could flip the script. India, they've got some talented players in there, but I agree with you. I think it's difficult with Virat Kohli, especially. Go on, Ashid.
To be honest, India won the last match they played at MCG.
Yeah.
Right? They scored 400 odd in the first innings and then bowled Australia out very well. Bumrah took his best figures. I think he took 9 wickets for 80 or 90 runs in the entire match.
But it was without, though. They didn't have Smith and Warner, and they had Kohli, India. So I think that's the biggest.
I think Pujara was the big deal in that game.
Yeah.
What Pujara needs to do is the same thing again. He needs to bat for 1,000 deliveries. That's what he did in that test series. He needs to bat for 1,000 balls at least, and try and help India win these matches.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's going to be pivotal, especially with Kohli not there. Australia, yeah, as you said, Smith and Labuschagne. Look, I mean, it'll be nice to see the opener. Joe Burns now looks like he's got a little bit of form, so nice to see them not be too down after 50 odd, etc., and maybe push them forward. I know obviously Warner is going to be a certain as when he comes in, and Pukovsky obviously they're looking at as well, but nice to see Australia's opening pair not put so much pressure on Smith and Labuschagne like they did in the last test. Okay, that's me done. Anything else you guys want to touch upon before we wrap up?
Just want to add, this is the 100th test between Australia and India. Do you know what the head-to-head is in terms of numbers?
No, I don't. Far away.
Asjad, do you know?
I thought it was like 51 and 49, but I don't know. So go for it.
No, it's out of the 100. Well, out of 99 tests that they played, so Australia have won 43, India have won 28, and there's only been one tie, which I find them quite amazing actually. But yeah, so
wait,
so
how many?
The rest are draws,
the rest
right?
are draws then, right?
Yeah.
the rest are draws. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a tie game is very rare in Test cricket, though. Wow.
Super over in Test cricket?
No. Venu would. I think
No.
Benny's not a fan.
I'll have it. I'll have it. No, that's not happening.
Benny would have fits if that happened, I think. No, that's. I mean, I'm not too surprised. Obviously, Australia have been so strong for X amount of years. So,
Yeah.
I know. Obviously, India had a patch quite
Team
recently
Bupa.
where they were quite good when they won the World Cup, etc. As well.
Yeah.
They're very strong,
Love
but
it.
Australia have been so good for a number of years. So I'm not surprised about that record at all, to be honest with you. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Usher's wearing a Superman shirt, I just realised. So completely against the theme that Venu was trying to push of Avengers. He's gone with DC instead. But okay, let's wrap up. Thanks very much, Venu, as well for being on, and Usher as well. Check out Cricket4Us 2.0. I'll put the link somewhere around here, probably over here. And of course, check out Venu's weekly cricket catch-up, a playlist that we have on our channel, and we'll be releasing another video this week as well. It's a weekly thing, so check it out. Venu puts a lot of effort into it, and it's very, very good. watch and even listen if you want to listen to it like a podcast as well. I think it's a really good discussion that we have when we talk about all things cricket, good, bad, and just nice talking points as well. And awards, Venue's awards, which I love looking forward to every single week as well. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.